Yeah, see it says recording. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and adjust this a little bit more in, because I want the pedal to go out a little bit further. If you're on the other side, you can actually see it moving out a little bit. So we only took out a little bit of the free play, but go ahead and give it another little bit more. Get your high gear in play. Okay, now we have this much free play here, so we only got this much free play in the system, which isn't a lot, but we want to see where this thing's going to start to slip at. That'll tell us where this pedal's going to wind up being at. So, see, right now we're released. See,
it's in neutral.
yeah, but the motor's still
You
engaged.
no, I mean we need to engage
The
the.
motor's still engaged. I'm turning the motor. See, right now I got enough pressure on
Oh, I
turning the
got
motor.
you. Okay, I see what you're doing.
There, it broke free right there. So somewhere in this area right here is where it just starts to engage clutch. See, we're dragging right now. So this would be where you were starting to take off on the bike. You would be feeling this. But right now I can't really slip it. So at this point here, the bike is starting to go. So you have to adjust this so your foot is comfortable. See, right now see right here, my foot's about 90 degrees, and that's where this clutch is going to start to grab. So when you go to ride the bike, unlike not knowing where it's going to be before, when you put your foot about 90 degrees at your ankle, you know the clutch is going to be right there. So I can have this thing just going back and forth like this anywhere I want, and I can tell exactly where it's going to hit.
Yeah, it used to be.
And once you let it out, you go down, you hit a hard stop, and you're done, and it's released. Now we can play around with that by playing around with the adjustment back here.
See how the front.
You can fine tune this to where your clutch works with
Right.
your ankle.
See how the front of the pedal is all wiped out?
Yes, that's
That's because it was hitting down there all the time, and I would have to stomp all the way forward to make sure that it was,
But the problem is you're so far past where your ankle, well, my ankles don't bend that much, but I assume yours don't either.
Yeah.
You're so far past where you got any control of your ankle, you can't control the clutch worth of shit.
Yeah.
It's like having a suicide. You got very little control.
No.
So right now, when we're adjusted here, it's going to engage right about in here, and it's right where your ankle's at 90 degrees, so it's right, just like being over there, it's where you have maximum control at. If you go one way or the other, you'll start losing that control. Now, if you want to fine tune, all you got to do is pop your little cover off and change this adjustment slightly.
Take the little screw off, the cover off there, and
Right, you take the cover off right
yeah,
here.
take the plug off there and go in there with the.
You have to put the camera over so you can see.
Yeah.
Rotate the camera so you can see.
Oh.
All you do is take this cover off, and you have access to that nut right here when you have that cover off.
All right.
You don't have to take this whole clutch apart. Now, we do have to go ahead and get these springs adjusted so they're equal height. But right now, we got the clutch pedal kind of where initially I'll put it at. Until we ride it, we don't know if that's where we want it to be. And that's our torque right there. Now, this right here, you can adjust it to 1/32 under an inch is your maximum number. Right now, we're at 1 inch. Now, being a 45, that's probably adequate. That's about an inch right there, so we're good. And this one down here, we're in the dark, so it's hard to see it. So I'm just going to turn the motor over. Being a 45, you can turn it over easier than that. See, right here, we're under an inch on this one right now. But this nut's also not in, and neither is this one either. So we'll have to tighten that up slightly to bring it in. This will be unadjusted. I'm going to adjust it one more flat. Now these nuts are cut out so that it'll stay, it locks in automatically every half a turn. Turn it over some more. And we go down and look at this one, and we're at the 1 inch number. Okay, so that's my rough adjustment. Now I go ahead and release the clutch, and I look at how this comes out. It should be coming out evenly. If you look at it from the side view, you see how this is coming out pretty evenly. I'm not looking at the basket per se because it's loose. I'm looking at the stack of plates and the outer pressure plate. They want them to come out evenly.
Fantastic.
And see how it's coming out pretty evenly?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we go ahead and turn it over a little bit. And we check the other side. Now, if you look at this, it's just overcoming this one, just a tick.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm going to give this half a turn. we'll look at it again. And we know the clutch is released, you can see I'm releasing it. I just look at a couple different spots to make sure you get all the different angles. It's a little low right here, but we release it by so far, it doesn't really matter. A hand clutch you wouldn't have as much. When you rotate it, it shouldn't wobble too much, but you can't always go by that method. But you can see how it's pretty straight. Not this outer lip, but the inside lip is what matters, which is the plate. So it's not too bad. So it's going to be the same thing. We're going to go until it starts to grab. See, it just starts to get some pressure there, not much. My foot's still dropping on the pedal. And right there, we start to lock up. See where our pedal's at? And when you're up on the bike, your leg is almost 90. You're just past 90 degrees. Your
That's
ankle.
fantastic. That's
Now,
fantastic.
if you want that to be a little bit sooner up here, then you need to unadjust that slightly. Give that half a turn less.
See, before it was always, I had to go way too far forward.
Right.
In other words, I was pointing almost like
On
pointing
this
your toe.
bike, you probably got like a half an inch of area between in and out. So from here to here is your sweet spot. And once you're all the way going, you just go like that, you're done. But you got a hard stop.
Yeah, well, it's going to be,
The other thing that's nice is you got your footboard here at a slight angle upward. Because when your leg's on the bike, your leg's not out here unless you're bow-legged. So most
True.
of the V-shaped legs, their angle comes through at an angle. So when the board's like this, your foot's comfortable. You're not bending your ankle sideways. And that makes it more comfortable.
fantastic.
If you look at the brake side, you're not that way. Now the other thing you got over here, why is this thing rotated forward like this? Trying to get in here and short this out over here? Was this just vibrated this way?
Well, that would be not cool, would it?
Yeah, well this is supposed to be straightened
Yeah.
out, so.
Yeah. Probably needs to
It's
be
tight, so-
loosened up to turn it.
That's something you can work on at home, just
Yeah,
to
but
pull
that-
it. It's supposed to be straight in and out,
Yeah.
but you don't want to
Oh,
have
yeah,
that. You don't want to be shorting against your head.
that could be super dangerous.
Plus
with
this is putting a lot of heat in the coil up here because it's right next to the motor, so.
too close to the.
Moving that back, that extra inch clearance will give you a lot less heat. All right, so that's how you do the clutch. So now we gotta take this back off to put the cover on it and put the lock on this. 'Cause
Right.
There's no lock on this cable.
They got to get back on.
We'll be good on that.
Unbelievable.
All right, shut it off.
Fine.
Hit the button.